and welcome back to the London Aquatics Centre. It is day 5 of the Aquatics GB Swimming Championships. We are nearly at the end of the road. 2 days still to come, 2 more days of racing and plenty more British champions to be crowned, and also plenty more spots on that plane to Singapore for the World Championships to be confirmed. Coming up this evening, we've got the A finals and the para finals, but before that we've got the B finals. Here is what is in store for you then, starting with the women's 100-metre butterfly, the men's 200-metre breaststroke, followed by the men's 50-metre freestyle. Then we've got the women's 200-metre IM and then the women's 200 IM para. There is a lot going on this evening, and to talk you through all of it is Andy Jameson and Dan Jervis.
Thank you, Betty, and what a night it's going to be. It's going to be a quick first session here, very fast first session. Then we're going to have a little bit of a break before the A finals and the junior finals and the para finals. What a fantastic facility this. Look at that. Built for the 2012 London Olympic Games, and it is still a cathedral of absolutely wonderful aquatic sport. There's just behind that Aquatics GB sign on the left-hand side there at the start end, there's another 50-metre pool just through that glass, and it's absolutely superb. It really is. And then at the other end, there's a wonderful diving pit, and actually the floor of the diving pit goes down. I think it goes down, what, 16 feet or something like that. There it is. So there's the 10-metre, the 7, the 5, and then a whole load of springboards and static boards. But you can actually see, I think, that the depth of that pool, it's very short. The bottom goes up and down, and I think it goes up to pretty much 0. I think you can walk on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be jumping off that diving block while the pool is looking like that, Andy. I think it'd be quite a hard landing.
It certainly would. I mean, without being funny, it's not a good idea at all, because it's very, very, very shallow. So they've roped off the diving boards. You can't get up there. But it's a wonderful facility, and it is a fantastic place to come and swim fast. And I did say it was here for the London 2012 Olympic Games. The British Championships that year were held in this pool, of course, to get ready for the Olympics. And the British record for the women's 100 fly was set there by Ellen Gandy 13 years ago. Well, this is the B final of the women's 100 fly. The A final will be slightly later in this evening's session. And the fastest seed is Harriet Rogers of Loughborough University. And this very much 50 metres 200. The 50 metres specialist is Harriet Rogers in lane number 4. She was 7th on the 50 metres butterfly, 8th on the 50 metres freestyle. And then you get somebody like Catherine Roberts in lane number 7, was in the B final, 2nd of the B final of the 200 fly. So can't wait to see how this unfolds. Here we go. There's the full lineup. And up there in lane number 1, Kieran Morris of Glasgow. And then we've got Maisie Elliott, Sophie Murray. Harriet Rogers is that sprinter, so expect her to go out very quickly. Thornburg of Crawley's in there. She's a great fun lady, she is. Had a couple of chats with her. Shirley Robinson, Catherine Roberts, and then Poppy Babbitt. So good evening to the Welsh rocket Dan Jervis sitting next to me, the 1500 metres freestyle specialist. Ever do a 100 fly?
No, I didn't. Stayed away from that. I left that to people like you.
B final women's 100 metres butterfly. There's Thornburg.
Take your marks.
So the first event on night 5 of finals here at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships. It is the 100 metres butterfly, the B final for women. And Harriet Rogers, as expected, the 50 specialist, 7th in the final, the 50 fly, going out really quickly down this first 35.
Yeah, that was a very strong start from Harriet Rogers, and that transition to her first stroke there, she kept her head down and she used that momentum from the dive to set her up well for this first 50, winning the first 50 in 27.67.
Well, it's a good turn as well, and straight up into a stroke. Now starting to come back a little bit is Sophie Murray of Harrogate District, but still it's Harriet Rogers with about 20 metres to go here. They're starting to come back at her, though. Right at the top there, Ciara Morris of City of Glasgow. And they really are charging at Harriet Rogers. Can she hold on here? The 50 metres sprinter. She went out very fast. Is she going to get caught here? It's going to be tight. Right on the touch. Who's going to get the touch? I think Harriet got it, did she? Yes, she did. 60.88. It was mighty close. 61.3 was second. That was Catherine Roberts. And third was Ella Thornburg of Crawley. But Harriet, well, gutsy swim, went out really well. And then held on fabulously well done. That second 50. Well done. She's smiling. She's got away with one there, hasn't she?
Yeah, Harriet was winning from the dive there. I did think there was a comeback from Sophie Murray at the end there, but I think Catherine Roberts and Ella Thornburg really pushed that last 15 to come second and third. But great race from Harriet Rogers there.
Well, look how close her chin is to the water when she is breathing. That's good. Stay nice and flat. Oh, breathe inside the last 5. Would like to see her stick her head down a little bit, but that was good. Hit the wall right on the end of a stroke. Well done. Well, that was first and third greeting each other. Harriet Rogers wins the B final women's 100 fly. Catherine Roberts second from Swansea, and Ella Thornburg from Crawley was third. Lovely smile from Ella as she walked past, and a thumbs up. That's great to see. And the B final of the men's 200 breaststroke. Rory Dixon, well, he was 5th on the 100, 6th on the 50. Just missed out on the final this morning, so I expect to see some fireworks here from the guy in lane number 4, Rory Dixon.
Yeah. Not a 200 breaststroke at me, Andy. In fact, I'd never done it. It was the only event in the programme that I'd never done. I was a bit too afraid. These boys are a bit stronger than I am.
Well, you do have your super strengths, and relative weaknesses, and I think both of us here, I think there'll be a right old battle for see who was last. But this is the B final of the 200 breaststroke, and I do know that Rory Dixon will be having a crack at this, see what he can do. Season's best of 2:17.6 that he went in the heats this morning, but I think he can go quite a bit faster than that. Summer Championships last year, he won the 50, the 200 and the 100. Did a clean sweep, so Mitchell in 5. That is Josh Mitchell of Edinburgh. Where do you see this one going?
I think Rory Dixon's got a good shout here. I think he could do it. I think he's...
The B final of the men's 200 breaststroke. It's a session just a couple of minutes old, but already into the second race. Now, the strokes on these men 200 metres breaststroke, I do love watching them. The distance per stroke, particularly if you look at lane number 6 here. Look at the black hat 3 from the bottom. This is a slightly faster turnover, but I just love the distance that they get. And they talk an awful lot about maximising the distance per stroke and the speed for minimising effort, and that's a fantastic first 50 there in lane 6 for Alexander Casey of Loughborough University.
Yeah, we saw a good first 50 there from William Godsell of University of Bath and Alexander Casey from Loughborough there. Now, the best start did go to Rory Dixon. He had a strong pull out underwater. You're allowed 1 fly kick, but you can go as far as you want underwater. The only time you can do that is in this stroke. You can't do it in others. But looking really good on the second 50 of this 200. Coming into first is Casey in lane 1, in lane 6, sorry, I apologise for that, in a 1:05.7. This is going to be a good race between 4, 5 and 6 here. They look very strong. Pulling ahead though is Casey. He's looking great into this third 50. He's got a very high breathing, and I'm no breaststroker by any means, but I have been told that that is because you kind of use the gravity then to pull you back so you can kind of dive into the next stroke cycle. Breaststroke is the most inefficient stroke of the 4, so it's quite... your body's not in natural angles, so you need to minimise the drag.
Well, this is a fabulous swim from Alexander Casey. Excellent underwater on that final turn. Rory Dixon now starting to make a charge in the centre. And he was 5th on the 100 metres breaststroke, 6th on the 50. And he's going to win this B final of the 200, and that's a good swim. 2:15.01. That's a new season's best by nearly 2.5 seconds for Rory Dixon. And he wins the B final pretty comfortably in the end. Well, looks reasonably happy there, I would say. Second on that B final was Alexander Casey. He swam well, 2:15.69, and that's well inside that entry time that he did, or the heat time this morning of 2:18. Third was Joshua Mitchell. He'd have been 6th in the A final, Rory Dixon, if he'd done that time there that he's just done in the B final. Do talk a lot about getting up in the mornings and getting ready, and if you're not ready, then get up earlier. Maybe go for a walk. 50 would have been. Wow.
That was a good swim from Rory Dixon there. You know, he was probably a little bit disappointed. You come to these meets to have personal best, and he's a little bit off that, but still a very strong swim. And now, very strong swim indeed, because he won it in 2:15.01. Second, Alexander Casey of Loughborough University, and Josh Mitchell come in third. Great swim, boys.
Men's 50 metres freestyle B final. There's going to be some fireworks here as well. This is going to be fabulous. Calvin Fry, second fastest seed. Dan Jones is the fastest in A number 4. Well, 22.7, and he didn't make the big final. It was very quick this morning. Dan Jones fastest seed with Calvin Fry's in there. Freddie Ashley Sparks of Wickham in 6. Nick Finch in 3. And look at that down in lane number 8. Aidan Cannon. Fantastic heat he had this morning to qualify. Lifetime best to qualify for this B final. Super to see him in here. 0.27 split the entire field here. Dan, what do you think we're going to get here on this B final of 53?
Well, I know Dan Jones quite well. I used to be his training partner, and I know he did want to make the A final tonight, but going in first in the B final is a great place to be. You're in the mix there. You're right in the centre lane, and I personally prefer to be in the centre lane. Obviously, you do want to be in the A final though, but my money's on him.
Well, it'll be very interesting to see how these big boys go. From the 100 metres B final, we've got 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. So very much the 100 guys going down to the 50 here. What can they do? Dan Jones from Swansea University, 4th in the B final on that 100 metres freestyle. What can he go on the 50? Can he win this? 22.71 was his heat swim.
Take your marks.
The B final, the the B final of the men's 50 metres freestyle. Excuse me, gentlemen. Dan Jones right in the centre, and a very good start from Jones. Very powerful stroke. Was Ben Prowder, really straight arms, head down, no breathers so far at 35 metres. This is good. Coming back is Calvin Fry in 5 of Loughborough performance. But Dan Jones in the centre. Who's going to get the touch? Is one of those two guys, I think. No, it's not. Oh, my word. It's Aidan Simmons-Brown up there in lane 2. And it's a 22.61. Well, goodness me. 8 100ths of ahead of Dan Jones. I thought Jones had it, but just snuck in by 8 100ths, and Aidan Simmons-Brown delighted with that one.
Oh, well, that just shows, Andy, that anything can happen in the last 5 metres. In fact, the last 1 metre, that was a fantastic finish from Aidan Simmons-Brown there from Plymouth Leander.
What a swim. Well, right in the centre, we were watching the... you've got to have super powerful shoulders to swim that kayak stroke, that straight arm overstroke of Dan Brown and Dan Jones in the centre.
Yeah, they haven't really got time to bend their arms, I guess, in this stroke, in this event. By the time they get in, it's time to get out. Especially the speed these boys are going.
Well, that was great to see, and what a celebration. Aidan Simmons-Brown of Plymouth Leander wins it in 22.61. That's a cracking swim, a massive lifetime best from him on the 50. Dan Jones second, and our third, just missed out. Who was third? Was it Freddie Ashley Sparks? I think it was. The B final of the women's 200 individual medley. And there in the centre, is it? No, that's Sophie Moore of City of Cambridge, 8th into this final. And there's the City of Sheffield swimmer. She's the fastest seed, Shola Robinson in lane 4. Holly Marshall swam a really great 400 medley, winning the B final. Let's see what she can do here. Had a quick chat with her dad earlier on. Very proud family. And Holly swam super. So Holly Marshall in 1, Holly Robinson in 2, Anna Farrow in 3, Shola Robinson in 4, Chloe Bown in 5, Scarlett Major 6, Maya Hall 7, and Sophie Moore of Cambridge in 8. B finalist on the 100 metres backstroke and the 200 breaststroke. A backstroke, breaststroke double. Don't often see that. The B final of the women's 200 individual medley. Shola Robinson is the fastest seed in 4. Chloe Bown just behind her in 5, and the fastest actually of lifetime best in 6 is Scarlett Major of Swansea.
Yeah, in an IM, there's all 4 individual strokes, and you really have to use your strengths like a superpower in this event. Everyone's got a weak stroke. Mine was breaststroke, and but your weak stroke can be someone else's strong stroke, so you've really got to use your strengths in this. I tell you, someone who is using her strength very well is Robinson from lane number 4 from Sheffield, having a really good first 100. Creeping up on her now a little bit is Anna Farrow from Bath. They look as if they're having a bit of a good tussle here. Up to the second turn into breaststroke.
So it is Shola Robinson coming into the halfway turn in this B final of the women's 200 metres individual medley. And that slight crossover turn, very effective. Let's see the turns. Great turn in 3 from Anna Farrow. Well, she went in, half a second behind, and she caught it all up on that turn. And now there's a charge coming on. And look at this, all 4 pretty much exactly in a line. Chloe Bown is charging in 5, and in 6, Scarlett Major looks really good closer to us. Yeah, I know Scarlett very well back in Swansea, and I know breaststroke is her strong suit, and she's got a very good freestyle as well. I think she can hold on for the win here, Andy. Oh, he's calling it early. He's calling it with 60 metres to go. I know, that is a bit premature calling that, isn't it? But I know Scarlett very well, and very quick turn there on a wall. You do not want to be hanging onto these walls long. You need to be touching it like it's something boiling. You need to get off as quick as you can. Well, knees up and really drive around, get that leading arm around that wall. And this is a very good swim, really good swim. In lane number 6, Scarlett Major. She has the fastest lifetime best of 2:15.86, and she's swimming away from the field here. Chloe Bown trying to go with her in lane 5 in the white hat of Mount Kelly. This is a very good swim from the Swansea University students. 2:15.86 is her best, just 4 100ths outside her best time. But goodness me, winning the B final at the 2025 Aquatics GB Championships, and that's a very good swim, a really good swim. Oh, well done, lovely to see. Great smile from her. Chloe Bown, 2:17.46 in second. Lifetime best from her. And Anna Farrow of Bath in third. Yeah, I'm really happy for Scarlett there. As I said just now, I know Scarlett, she's a very hard trainer. She's good. And interesting tactically there, because the Scarlett was comfortable down the first 100 metres or so. Certainly Shola Robinson went out well, the City of Sheffield swimmer, but that back half of Scarlett Major, fabulous back end of that medley she had. Yeah, no, Scarlett is coached by Graham Antwistle, a fantastic coach, veteran, actually an Olympic coach. He went to the Beijing Olympics. Now this is the result of the B final. Scarlett Major winning it in 2:15, followed closely by Chloe Bown and then Anna Farrow in third. Well, that's B final of the women's 200 IM now over, and straight into the power-up B final of the women's 200 IM, and delighted to be joined again by Paul Noble. And Paul, take us through this one. This is going to be fabulous. I haven't seen too many B finals here, but this one will be very interesting indeed for the para-athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. Multi-classification, as always, so different classifications represented here. S14 swimmers in the middle. There's Evie Lambert, who's one of the 3 SM9 swimmers. It is prefix SM, indicates it's a medley event. We have SB events, which are breaststroke, and S, which are all the other strokes. Backstroke, freestyle and butterfly. One of the big shocks, really, being this final is that Poppy Maskell did not make the A final. It's very tight to make the A final, and Poppy Maskell missed out, but she can post. We have been seeing that para-athletes can post times to make qualification standards for Singapore in any race here at these championships. And the swim for Poppy Maskell can also count towards the para title here as well. So watch out for the points total for Poppy Maskell, as the medals for the multi-classification events can come from either the A or B final. Maskell goes in 4. She'll be the favourite. Watch out for Scarlett Humphrey, closest to us as well. She is the British record holder in the SM11 class. We talked a lot about the Humphreys twins. Scarlett Humphrey, swimmer with no vision at all. She's wearing blacked out goggles. But it is the intellectual impairment swimmer, Poppy Maskell, who has been the real star of these championships, actually. We haven't seen her going too fast in the heats. And she's lucky that there is a B final, as Andy said. Don't often have B finals at these championships for the para-athletes, but she's lucky this time that there is a B final, and she's gone out pretty fast here, Poppy Maskell, in 29.23. She has a good record in this event. She's a silver medalist in the Paralympic Games and also the bronze medalist at the World Championships in 2023. So it is one of her target events. She's one of the swimmers who had a very successful Paris Paralympics and just came back into the pool relatively late. The qualification for Singapore World Championships for the para swimmers is a 2-stage process. Poppy Maskell, well, she means business. She didn't really perform in the heats this morning, but 4 seconds quicker at the halfway point for Poppy Maskell here in this B final. Let's just see what kind of time that she can post. The qualification consideration time for Singapore is 2:24.89, so it'd be good to see Poppy dip under that. Chasing her is Sienna Oxby, 1 lane down, and also Amber Haycock and Astrid Carroll going well. Also Evie Lambert having a good swim right there at the top. But Poppy Maskell, 152.85. Let's see what she can bring this back in. Remember, the Singapore target that she is looking for is 2:24.89 for the Paralympic Games. Silver medalist last year. She won 3 golds in Paris last year, 2 individual and 1 in the relay. And Maskell, well, one of Great Britain's top performers over the last couple of years. That qualification time is going to slip by for Poppy Maskell, but she is going to be much quicker than she went. 2 minutes 29.21, 843 points, and that will be the target for the A final swimmers. That sent a bit of a message to the A finalists. Sienna Oxby follows them home. Points totals. Let's have a look at Scarlett Humphrey coming in now. There's the tap, just in the small of the back there. 771 for Scarlett Humphrey, and a big improvement for Scarlett there. 2:52 for Scarlett Humphrey. She is the British record holder at 2:48. But Maskell, well, she was trying hard there, Poppy Maskell, and again we've seen her all this week not perform too well in the heats, but come the final she raises her game, and that's a good sign. If Poppy Maskell can raise her game for the final, but she's got to be careful. She missed the A final here. She can't do that at major championships. Miss Poppy Maskell, the SM14 classification swimmer with an intellectual impairment. The points that you will see, 1,000 points equivalent to a time which is roughly the world record. Poppy Maskell with 843 points. If you're in the 800 range, that's an excellent performance. That's a world-class performance, 800, 900 points. Poppy Maskell will take it with 843. Good swim from Evie Lambert, 245 with 785 points. Scarlett Humphrey just outside her British record for the SM11 class in third, 771. But that is 3 good performances at the top of those results.
Well, that's the end of the B-final. It's a very, very quick session, that B-final session. But just 20 minutes' time, the pre-game show will come with Betty Glover leading us into this 7 o'clock. Will be the first gun for the first final, which will be the men's 800 metres freestyle. And what a final that's going to be. But we've got some absolute crackers with that women's 100 metres butterfly, the men's 2-breast as well. And the 50 freestyle, of course, where we got our Olympic silver medalist, who's not qualified fastest, Ben Proud. That's fascinating. And the women's 2 AM. It's going to be a great session. So see you in about 20 minutes at 6:45 for the pre-game show. Stick the kettle on. See you in a second.